Pride has always been about liberation. It's always been about freedom of expression, of existence. Pride has always been about cross cultural collaboration. It's always been about just the essence of freedom, being yourself, being free to be yourself, to be who you are. Buenos like Mista, I am Fornesis, and I'm gonna talk more about Pride because it is Pride Month, and why the fuck not, anyhow. And so, what we need to know exactly is why, in the first place, we need pride. Why we need to have pride in our identities as queer and trans and intersex and non binary people. Why this community needs pride so much? Well, for starters, it is about colonialism because that's where so many things, issues in this current global paradigm began. Because in the first place, the reason why native peoples in Africa, in the Philippines, in India, in on Turtle Island, in the Pacific Islands, the reason why they were seen as savages is quite literally because their societies openly accepted queerness, transness to the utmost degree, to where they were considered to be sacred. And so, if you are queer and trans, non binary, or intersex, you are sacred by extension. Even if you aren't a part of these cultures that once considered the sacredness of queer and trans and intersex and non binary identities, you are still considered to be sacred. Do personally consider you sacred on behalf of my ancestors because that's what it is to us, to my people. I'm Tagalog from the Philippines. This is what we used to believe en masse before colonialism and Spanish and American rule. And this is what I hold sacred now. You are sacred. You are meant to be here. You are meant to be somebody who is authentically and unapologetically yourself. You are meant to be somebody who has pride in who you are, not only in your queer or trans or intersex or non-binary identity, but every aspect of who you are. You can be black and share in the sacredness. You can be Latino and share in this sacredness. You can be American because I am a Filipino American and share in the sacredness. You can be anything that you want to be, truly. And you can be anybody and share in the sacredness because that's what pride is about, the sacredness of our identities, the sacredness of being human as a whole. You are sacred in terms of the struggles that your peoples faced. You are sacred so long as you fulfill that sacred duty of not causing harm to others, fulfill that sacred duty of not causing damage to other people's lives. We need solidarity more than ever, not just within the queer and the trans and the intersex and non binary community as a whole. We need solidarity more than ever because of the tough times that we are facing in different parts of the world, all over the globe. Economic uncertainty, government uncertainty, government authoritarianism. We're facing climate change challenges. We're facing so many existential challenges. And so we need to know and understand more than ever why it's important to uplift those who are not currently being uplifted. Why it's important to keep uplifting the marginalized. And if you are a member of the marginalized, why it is important for you to keep fighting and for you to keep raising your voice up for, those who can't speak, those who are like you who cannot speak. It is important for you to understand whether you are queer and trans or intersex or non-binary, or whether you are cisgender and straight, cishet. You know, it is important for you to understand, because the only reason why you have been led to believe, if you currently do believe, that we are a threat, is because we were considered to be savages. We were considered to be unclean. We were considered to be undesirable under ideologies like eugenics, Nazism, under ideologies like white supremacy, like colonialism. We were always considered to be lesser as humans, not even human. But at the same time, your humanity is not being respected, because if it was, then those in power would actually be fighting for you. But instead, they tell y'all to go ahead and just blame trans people for all of your problems, in the same way that Nazis blamed, the Jews, the Roma, also queer and trans people, Slavs, etc., for all of their problems, for all of the problems of working class people in Europe, specifically in Deutschland or Germany. But still, they told them that their problems were because of their most vulnerable people. And so right now you are being told that your problems are because of of the most vulnerable people in society. The people who actually can show you the value of your sacredness. The people who can express the fuck out of ourselves, because what else do we have to lose? I have this pride flag over here in front of my window because it is just that important for me to express the fact that I am who the fuck I say I am. I am I am non-binary, I am gay, I identify as being non-binary trans. I do not give a fuck. I'm bakla. That's the traditional identity that people like myself in my culture took on and held on to. I'm all of those things. I'm also Filipino. I'm also Tagalog. I'm also American. I'm also autistic. I'm also neurodivergent. I'm also disabled. Ultimately, pride is not just for queer and trans and intersex and non-binary people. It is for everybody, even straight people, even cisgender and hetero um people. Is for all of us, to give us permission to be liberated, to liberate ourselves, to liberate the working classes, and to make sure that you are fighting for yourself, fighting for everyone to be able to express themselves. Because you do not deserve economic uncertainty. You do not deserve government authoritarianism. You do not deserve to feel like you have to, play certain roles in society. You do not deserve to have to fit in neat little labels in boxes that need to be destroyed. You deserve actual liberty, liberation, whether you are queer, trans, intersex, or non binary, or whether you are not. And that's what Pride is all about. So, with that, thank you so much for watching. Until next time, take care. Have a good one.